Yes, we're live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another week. Oh my goodness, it's been so long. Happy Thursday. I'm so excited. I see green bars, everybody. Excuse me, green bars for the Wi-Fi. So Wi-Fi for the win. All those old problems, they gone. I took care of it like a pro. Just got in there and got resourceful. So yeah, when stuff's not working like it wasn't last week, you do what you need to do, you buy what you need to buy, and just you get it done. That's the lesson that came out of that. So today we're talking about media. Actually, this is going to be loving on media all month long, because you know what? This part of what I do, it's the part I love the most. I am so pumped about it. The media today, the news media, earned media, I love taking questions about it. I love coaching people on it. I love doing mentor sessions on it. So I'm going to bring some stuff to you this month that's going to really help you frame and wrap your head around, are the news media, first of all, how have they all changed and what does that mean anymore? Are they really accessible to you? The answer is yes. And I will also venture to say that they are still it is the number one source of your biggest credibility and trust factor. Now, you might be looking around, you see people maybe in your local paper pop in once in a while, or you see them, they have a lot of content online that seems to be authored by someone else, or they manage to land these articles. It is not magic. It is either a PR team that is helping them out, or it's just a little bit of savvy when it comes to knowing how to pitch themselves. So what I'm saying to you is it's very accessible, and it's something I'm very good at, and it's something that I decided a couple years ago when creating, or not even a couple years, my gosh, when creating Experts in Demand about a year ago or so, that I was going to help people manage and do. So I'm going to step into that a little more this month and get real about, all right, let's go. Let's get to the good stuff. It's the secret sauce, like getting in the news media, getting yourself featured for is going to be fun. It's going to be easier than you think. And it's very possible. It's actually going to lead to, as in the case of, a friend of mine, anytime you put yourself out there, it's going to lead to, well, that's obviously the expert or the go-to person. I'm going to call them when I'm having that problem. So all to say about that, today we're talking about making the case for yourself. There's two ways that media come to you. And if you've had it before, comment below if you've actually, been featured either locally or in regional, or you landed some kind of radio interview, you don't know how it happened. They either fall in your lap because of something else you did, or something that's very timely. And if you are, you're a very lucky person, so take advantage of that. And there's also people that just know and seem to kind of know when their right seasons are and when to put themselves out there. We're going to talk to seasons probably in the next week about the right season for you in the news media. What's your season? And but today I'm talking about making the case for yourself, because if really what it's all about is sometimes when and I think I put it in the description, so I'm trying to remember, it was so good what I wrote. Sometimes when the media will, come a calling, or it will be your time or your industry, or something happening in the news is affecting your business or affecting how you approach things. So it will be a very natural thing, like, hey, I'd love to talk about this. But what happens when they don't come a calling? What happens when you need to make the case for yourself? And that's what I want to talk to you today. When it comes to having no introduction, or not knowing where to put yourself, like, hey, this is important, look over here. I want you to start taking a cue from the law field, the field of law. Lawyers do this all the time. If you think about yourself as the client in the case that you have to pitch, you have to present fact-based evidence of why things are the way they are, or to persuade this jury or judge to, think one way or the other. So if you want a really fun game, if you start to think of yourself as the client, and you need to represent yourself, just stand up and represent, because sometimes the season and it's a slow period, and I'm not talking just winter, because I'm coming on the phone with people who are, their industry or what they do is very hot right now. And it lands perfectly the fact that it's a very slow time in the media. So it's a natural blend and they're getting a lot of attention. But there are times where that doesn't always line up. And when that happens, you have to find a way to make a case for yourself. And if you can't do this, you're also going to have a very hard time making a case for your services, making a case for people to hire you for speaking, making a case for people to listen to you in the board meeting, and just making a case for you to be considered and be taken seriously when you are going into your networking circles and colleagues and you know, other circles for your business. So start to think of these few questions. It's not only the case for yourself, it's the case for your services. So if you write down a few things like, you know, the nature of, and where I'm trying to pump you guys up now is when you're approaching these people and these publishers, producers, editors. These are gatekeepers. There are gatekeepers that are keeping you from telling your side of the story that they're already talking about. So you're over here, you have gatekeepers you have to convince, you have to get over the wall to the other side so that you're in that group, because that's what you want to do. Now, when you get in that group, it can be very lucrative because now they know you're in the group, you're in the club. They very well may take that over and do things like call you when they need a comment, call you when they're working on a story because they remember you because your interview is so compelling, call you because you've developed a relationship, or call you for the follow-up. So there's a lot of good that can come from that. But the problem is that people are stuck here on the outside of the wall and they can't get in the club. Like they can't get that very first pitch to land. And that's what I'm trying to help you guys with all month, but specifically today. Now you have to say things, you know, what you're going to want to do is if they're talking about such and such over here, or if they're not yet, you have to think of things about what should they be talking about right now. And if they're already talking about it, you're over here going, how can I add or fill in gaps for those people? Because this is the part of the story they haven't been telling. So what if you'll notice is I'm not giving you like step one, do this. And I can do that. And I'll probably actually create a new piece of content this month and you guys can go and, you know, read about it. But honestly, with these lives, I want to make sure that the thinking is there before you go out and try this. You have probably one shot to do this properly, okay? Or rather one shot to not hurt yourself in the process or hurt your brand image or, you know, say something that's going to work against you or get you, you know, blocked. In the worst case scenario, if you remember from my webinar, that's happened. With clients who tried it on their own. But this can be very simple. So don't, at the same time, don't be fearful. When you're trying to make that case, okay, let's say in example A, they're talking about it. You're like, oh, that's so me. Why did that guy get on the news? And why did that woman be featured? Like what? I do the same thing. Then find a different way to engage yourself in the conversation. Now, if it's too late and they've covered it and it's done locally, find other places. It means that the subject is hot, so find other places talking about this. There's online journals. There's all kinds of things